For this tutorial, we're going to use the Power BI desktop application. So I expect you to have gone to the site, downloaded it, and have it installed. So now right here, we have Power BI desktop. So if I double click it, it's going to load the Power BI desktop software. So let's give it just a little while to load. Okay, now we are here. It says select a data source or start with a blank report. So what we're going to do in here, you can see you can start with a blank report. You can start with one lake catalog, an Excel book, SQL server, and the rest options. So let's just start with a blank report, and I click blank report. So this is your blank report. This is where you come to when you start your Power BI. Now, quickly, let's give a brief description of this environment, because this is what you are going to be working with. So the first thing you need to know is that on Power BI, after the title bar, you see Untitled Power BI Desktop, you have the menus, you have the menu bar. Okay, let me go back. Each menu, for example, starting from Home, Insert, Modeling. Each menu has a sub menu, which are icons which you can play around with or use in your analysis. So you have View, you have Optimize, you have Help, and the rest of it. So this is your menu, and this menu or top ribbon, also each of the menu has sub menus which are icons. Then the second part you need to pay attention to is the dotted line area. You can see where you have dot, like a square here or rectangle, goes all the way to this point, like this round here. Your dotted line area, this is the place you add your report. You can see, say add your report here. This is the place where you carry out your visualizations, your analysis. So you pay attention here very well, because most of your work are going to be, in fact, almost all your work is going to be here. Then thirdly, you need to pay attention to this area called visualization. Visualizations are the different types of visuals or charts you are going to be using for your Power BI to create your reports. So you can see here you have your stacked bar chart, you have column charts, you have color star chart, and you have many of them. You have line charts, you have a pie chart, you have a field map, you have a slicer, you have a table, you have all kinds of visuals. Then another area you need to pay attention to in the Power BI environment is your data source area. If I open this, I click this arrow here, see where my cursor is, click this arrow here, you see now it opens this area here where you see where you can get it. They say you haven't loaded any data yet. We're going to load data very soon. So here is also an area you pay attention, because your titles or column headings will appear here where you can play around with. Then finally, in your environment, you have this area here, which is the view area. Here you have report view. This option is table view. Here you have model view, and every other view you can find here. So what are the five areas? Your menu and sub-menu areas, your dotted line area, your visualization area, your data area, and your view area. So these are the areas you are going to work with. So the first thing we need to do is to bring our data set into Power BI. So how are we going to do that? We can do that from four areas. If we go to Home menu here, you see the option here, it says Get Data. If I click the option here, you can see that I can get data from Excel, get data from Power BI, from data flows, from data bus, from SQL server, from analysis services, text CSV, and the rest. So this is one place where you can get in your data. Another place where you can source your data, it says get data from another source. You can click on this option. If I click from this option now, yes, let's see what it brings out. It brings out, it says get data. You can see I can take data from Excel, text or CSV, XML, JSON, folder, PDF, Packet, share folder, SQL server, access. So the strength of Power BI is it allows you to absorb multiple, take data from multiple sources of data, which is a bit different from Excel, because Excel only works with CSV and Excel files. Now, if I cancel this, I also come to this area of data. I click on this option here, data. If I click data here, I discover too, I also have, it brings out options, the same that we saw here, the same Excel, text CSV, etc., etc. So these are the areas I can upload or collect my data or bring my data set into my Power BI environment. So let me cancel here. So I will do, let me just use this option here. So I click it, okay. If I click it now, the file I want to bring is the same file we used for Excel. So it's called the Excel. So it's an Excel file. So I select the Excel workbook and I click connect. I select the Excel workbook. Okay, so where is my file? I'll check my file under data analysis folder. This is data analysis. Then I check my file, look for the file. I think my file is banking data with reference. So I saved it as banking data reference 2. So I select this and I click open. So if I click open, what did it say? It said please wait. Okay, so it's trying to upload the data. Now it brings out this screen. This screen is called the navigator screen. Now, since I'm opening an Excel file, Excel usually comes with 3 sheets. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. It has uploaded all of them. Yes, uploaded them. It has kind of extracted them here, but has not finally uploaded them. So if I check sheet 1, let me see what is there. You can see the data set is in sheet 1. Preview downloaded. If I check sheet 2, you can see the table is empty. There is nothing in sheet 2. If I check sheet 3, there is nothing in sheet 3. So let me uncheck this 2. So I check this sheet 1. Remember, you must always check. If you leave it unchecked and you cannot even load it. So I select sheet 1. You see it brings me the option to load the file. So now I'm going to click load. If I click load, now let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. It's loading the file. Okay. Now I said, give me some errors. So there are pending changes in your queries that haven't been applied. Okay, let me just put apply for now. Okay, let me finish this process, then I'll go to this. Then, so it's loading the data, it's loading the data. So let's wait for it to load. Now you see 742 rows loaded. Okay, now, if you look at very well on this screen or this view area, this dashboard, you cannot see anything. Now, if you want to see the data that's been uploaded, you can see now you are on report view. What you will have to do, you have to come to table view and click it. When you click the table view, you will see that the data set is uploaded. You can see your data set here is uploaded. If you scroll to your right or to your left, you can see the data set and each of the titles. Okay, now let me go back to report view. I click on report view. If I click on report view, now if you look by the right here where my cursor, my mouse pointer is, you discover that sheet 1 has been uploaded. If I want to see the headlines or the title of the columns, I click this arrow in front. If I click it, you see all of them drop down here. It drops down here. So by this now, I have done the first step or carried out the first step, which is collecting the data or uploading the data into Power BI. So my data is now available in Power BI. My next step will now be to clean my data. But before we do that, let's do a quick visual so that we can appreciate how Power BI really works. Now here we said this is a visualization. If you look at this option here, you see that it's a stack bar chart. If I just click a stack bar chart, click it here, you can see the star bar chart appears on this canvas area or dashboard area. I can decide to expand it a bit. Okay. Now if I expand it a bit, now I can take 2 options so that I can get a chart out. I can decide to come here and take banks. I click on the banks. I move it to Y-axis here and I drop it. I leave it there. Okay, it's not displaying anything yet. And I also bring, let me take depth as the second, the x-axis option, and I come here, depth, and I drop it under the x-axis. If I do that now, you see what it has generated. You can see Bank Sahel, these are the different depths for each of the banks. And if you notice, the bank with the highest depth is the Bank San, let me put it here and say Bank Salo, Sahin, Investment, Commerce, and the rest of it. Okay, so it's a quick visual. Now, if I want to add another visual, if I click, for example, a pie chart here, I click a pie chart, it changes what is there, but that is not what I want. What I want to create another one. So let me undo it here, undo last action. I click here, click undo, it comes back here. So if I want to make sure I can select another one, I'll make sure I click outside or deactivate it. I click outside, you can see it is no longer selected. If I click here, it is selected. If I click outside, it's not selected. Then if I click my pie chart now, for example, if I click my pie chart, you see that my pie chart has come here, which I can decide to move to this side if I want to. Okay, if I want to move it to this side, then I can also add two values. I can decide to select countries and put it under legend. Okay, and I select INF or IRR. Where's my real interest rate? Okay, IRR. I click here and put it under values. Okay, you can see now I have something beautiful. So this is for the stack bar chart. This is for the pie chart. So any of them you can use. Now, what you also need to know about Power BI is that both of the charts you put on Power BI are interactive. Now, for one data, I click here. If I click on countries, it shows me the correlation here. If I click on this other option here, Côte d'Ivoire, on Côte d'Ivoire, it shows me the value on the stack column chart. If I click this one, it shows me the value here. If I click this, it shows me the related value here. So the pie chart, the charts on the dashboard are interactive. Now, so we have learned that. Now let's go to cleaning our data. We are still on fast data collection. We have brought it in the Power BI environment. The next thing we want to do now and achieve is to clean the data, which is the step 2 of the data analytics process. So what do we do now? So we simply go under home menu. Remember, we must make sure that you are under the home menu. Under the home menu, go to here where you see queries. In queries, you will see the option or the icon of transform data. If you click the arrow below, and you can select this option here, transform data, just click transform data. When you click the transform data, it takes you to an environment. If you look up here, you see where my mouse pointer is. It's called the Power Query Editor. You can query your data and it can also edit your data. So that's why it's called the Power Query Editor. So you can do so many things here. So let me cancel this for now. And this is what we have here. So these are our data sets. So the first thing we want to do is to click to remove the duplicates, just like we did in Excel. So how do we remove the duplicates? So what we simply do is, you can see this column is already selected. If you want to select a whole column, just click on the title. If you click the title, everything will be selected. But if you click one of the cells, only that cell will be selected. So if I want to select a title, I just a whole cell, I click everything, or I click everything, I click everything. So what do I want to do? If I click on the first column on top here, I hold and I press the shift or Control A. If I press Control A, you discover all of them are selected. It helps you select everything. Now let me do it again. I click the first column, or I can click even the second column, then press Control A. It will select the entire data set. Everything here now is selected. Control A. Now I want to remove duplicates. Where do I find remove duplicates? I go to this section here, which is reduce rows. In the reduce rows, you have what you call remove rows here. I click the arrow beneath it. If I click it, you see where it says what? Remove what? Duplicates. I remove these duplicates. I click remove duplicates. Now any duplicate record that is here has been removed. And how do you know? You see it in the applied steps. Apply state, it has been removed. I repeat the process. I cancel this. If I cancel it, it undoes it, undoes it. So I go back to this option here, I click and I come here. After it is selected, I click remove duplicates. Now you can see it here in the applied steps. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do, I want to remove this column. So I unselect or just click one of the points. Everything is unselected again, and I click this column 1 and I right click the mouse button and I click remove. Only this column. Remember, it's only this column that has to be selected. So I click remove. If I click remove, you see I don't need that column. Even this country's number 1111 is not necessary. So I also right click it here. I click remove. Okay. I also don't need this ID too. I also right click here and I click remove. So I only need from countries to the other data sets. So you can see now I remove duplicates and I remove columns. It's now stated in the applied steps. Now the next thing I would like to do is to correct text. For example, text that is not correct. For example, you see this Benin here, you discover now it's not correct. So what do? I click on it, just one of it, click on it, not on the title. I click on it, right click, and I click what? Replace values. Again, I click on it, right click, and I click replace values. If you see replace values, it will come out just like you have in Excel. Say value to find this one which is not correct, value to replace. I will type Benin, which is the value to replace. So I'll now click what? OK. All the values that are incorrect will be corrected. Let me scroll down and look for another one for the purpose of practice. Okay, I go down. Yes, just like we did in Excel. Côte d'Ivoire is also having issues. I click on one of the records, Côte d'Ivoire, right click it, then click replace values. Okay, you can see the Côte d'Ivoire here is not correct, and replace with the correct one. Type the correct one, Côte d'Ivoire. Then click OK. It replaces all the Côte d'Ivoires that are not correct. Let's see it. Let's check it. You can see now here. So you can repeat that for as many records that you have. Now let's check that for the banks. For example, we have a bank issue here. Let's scroll up. Okay, Bank Atlantic Benin. I right click this. I right click it and I click replace values again. Okay, you can see this one. Now I can simply copy this, right click, highlight it, click here, copy, come here, paste, because what you need to change is very little. I paste it, so I have the same thing, but I will change these 2 characters here. I will just type what? Benin, and I click OK. If I click OK, now let me do that. You can see all these ones have been replaced. The same thing here. I right click this one, click what? Replace what? Values. Okay, right click this, copy this, click copy, come here and click what? Paste. Then click Benin too and click OK. Then keep moving. Then Bank of Africa Benin, the same thing here. Click replace values, copy it here, so because the changes are little, so that you don't have to start typing again. Paste. Then remove this one, Benin. Okay, I click OK. So you repeat the process for each one you want to correct. There are still many others, but for the purpose of time, so let's leave those ones. So we have removed the duplicates, we have corrected the text. Now let's work on numbers. Now we move to numbers. Let's come to numbers. Now in the Excel we had several decimal places. We reduced it to 2 decimal places. Let's see how we can do this. So I select this RRI, the heading, I select it, I press my shift and I'll select the rest of them, click them one by one. On the headings, I press I'm holding my shift key. On the headings, come here, on the headings, CC, until I select all of them. On the headings. Okay, now on the headings, I come here. Let's see any other column. No, These ones are just the references. So all these ones are selected. Now to correct to two decimal places, let's watch the options. I'll right click not inside here, but on the heading of any of them, right click here, and I come to transform. If I come to transform, I come to round. If I come to round, I can just click round. If I click round, it says to how many decimal places. I click it to 2 decimal places and I click OK. You will discover each of them is taken to 2 decimal places. Now let me cancel this process and come back. Now I can also round up or round down. I can right click and select transform, go to round. I can round up. Round up means, for example, let's look for a value here. Okay, 30.66 will be 31 because it's rounding up. If you say round down, it will just be 30. 52.8 will remain 52.8 because the decimal is not up to 5. So that is also, let me select this option, round up. Let's take this one so I can notice it. Round up, I click round up. Okay, where is it? You can see now it is 31 instead of 30. It was 30 point something. Now if I cancel the process, it's on record 11. You see it here. You cancel this. Okay, record 11. You see it here. So it's 30.7. 30.7. Record 10 to the same thing. So if I right click here and I round up, transform round, and I round up. If I round up, okay, both of them come to 31. You can see them 10 and 11. Okay, this is 34, 31. So this is how to use or get 2 decimal places. So let me cancel. Let me go back to what we did before. So right click here, come here to transform, go to round, select round. I only want 2 decimal. I press 2 decimal. I click OK. If I click OK, I have rounded it up. So basically, I have carried out the 4 steps of cleaning. I have removed the duplicates. I have corrected the text. I've adjusted the numbers. Now, what I need to do is to save this to make sure it is reflected. Now we come to the text up here by the left. You see an icon here says close and apply. So I do close and apply, and I select close and apply. So it is applied. Loading sheet. So it saved it. It has saved that record now. Finally, so that we can use it for the next lesson, we have to save this file. It has not saved. It is still called on title. So I'll click file. I will click save as. Then I'll select it. Let me save it under my folder, data analysis ISP. I select it. Okay, and I give it let me say African banks. I type the name African banks, then I save. So even if I come next time, I will see my data. You can see now it's saved as African banks. So you have learned in this lesson how to collect data, bring data into Power BI. Then you've also learned how to clean the data using the Power Query editor. So I hope you have learned something from this lesson.